Keesh.
I'm Lexx.
I'm Keesh.
And today we are going to put together one of my Christmas presents from a very close friend of mine. She knows me so well. She also knows that I am simply unable to mother my plants correctly. So what we have here is a smart garden that will hopefully help me to grow herbs for the kitchen.
Yes.
2 birds, 1 stone, because I'm trying my best to do better in the kitchen.
And this one has 3 basil pods. Capsules is what they're called. And while we do this, so that things don't get too boring, we've received a lot of questions about how we got together and how we met. So we're going to tell you guys the long, convoluted story.
We are?
Yes.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
Some of it's a little embarrassing.
Well, you know, life happens.
And some of it we can't agree on.
It's because your memory's bad.
Your memory is terrible now. And you don't remember the truth.
We'll see. Anyway, you can start on your version of the story and I will correct you when you're wrong.
Excuse me?
Start from the beginning as I take this out of the box. We're listening.
Okay. Well, once upon a time, back in the olden days,
For real.
there was a website, not even an app, and that website was called Downlink.
You're right, there was no app.
There was no app because, yeah. Think of it as like MySpace or Facebook, but for like gay folk. And so I had a page, and obviously Keesh had a page.
I had a page.
Unbeknownst to
Keep going.
Unbeknownst to me.
So what we have here, I'm guessing, are the basil capsules and a little welcome message.
What does it say?
It says welcome with a bunch of words. It's a whole paragraph that I don't feel like reading right now. So go ahead.
Okay, where was I? I don't remember who requested who.
I don't either. Actually.
And I just know that we became friends, and we exchanged some messages back and forth.
Mm-hmm. I didn't correct you.
Right, but you're looking at me as if this is not.
I'll listen to the story as well.
It turned out somehow, some way, that we had mutual friends. I don't know how that would even come up.
I'm not the type of person to just meet people back in the day, because that was not a very common thing to do.
No.
People were doing it, but it wasn't like how it is now.
In fact, it was a little bit embarrassing back then to admit that you had met your
spouse or
crush, whatever, online.
And so, although I had exchanged messages with her back and forth, I had no intention on meeting her at that point, because it was just like some fun conversation to have online.
Same. I had no intention on meeting her.
You knew you wanted this.
I mean, you were cute and all, but it wasn't. What if you were some kind of an axe murderer?
Exactly. And then we found out that we had 2 mutual friends.
My very best friend at the time
was dating my best friend. Some of y'all might know her fame. But they were dating, and then one day she brought her famous girl brought her friends, and she showed up. And I said, this is the girl from Downlink.
Where were we at?
Probably a bowling alley or a restaurant. Or a club we had no business being in, because most of
it was it Boss Hog?
No, that wasn't.
We knew each other before that?
Mm-hmm. See,
okay, I don't remember. No. Because I know what I don't remember. You make up, which I admit it, you make it up when there's
accusations!
Okay.
So here is the little plant growth thingy.
It's so cute.
It is very cute.
What I want to do is like lift this
Let's
up.
not do that yet. Okay, it says ready, set, grow. So we're supposed to fill the tank in with some water until it reaches the top of the garden. Is this the tank? There's an arrow.
Right.
So
I simply don't.
Magic wands.
Okay, there's an instruction booklet here, so let's crack that open.
You do that.
Well, this is unclear. It says number 1, insert the plant pods.
Oh. then here you go. Let's insert those. Oh. So I think you put the pod.
But what about the soil?
There's soil in there. The pod has soil in it.
Okay. Remove your refills from this box, okay?
So anyway.
This is how it looks.
Yes, that's how it looks.
I guess you're supposed to open here. Anywho, somehow, some way, we ended up meeting each other for the first time. I don't remember this. Maybe they remember.
I doubt it.
Probably.
So anywho, after we met in person, we actually exchanged phone numbers, and then I asked her on a date. We went on the date to Joe's Crab Shack.
We did not go to Joe's Crab Shack.
Our very first date was Joe's Crab Shack, whether she wants to admit it or not.
Woman. No. Our first date, we went to the Orleans, which is a casino that's off the strip here in Vegas. We went and saw a movie.
And we went to dinner, but that was our second date.
It was our first date.
Okay.
Why does it look like... Oh no, the seeds are in there.
Yes. You're supposed to put them in here.
Okay, so I just put one little pod. Oh, the soil is very stiff.
Okay.
Like that.
I guess. And then I guess you put...
But... Okay, I'm just thinking to myself, why would this little glass thing go on top, though?
Look, it does right here. It's the germination dome. Is that what this is?
Yeah, so you... But wouldn't you want...
The water goes in here, I think, at the bottom.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, there's an indicator.
But I think we're supposed to put the water in there first.
Perhaps.
Hold that.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, you can just use the little, use the plant water.
Yes, but how do I know how much water?
There's an indicator, it said.
Well, where's said indicator?
Well, I have no idea.
Okay, well, here. You finish telling the story about our first date at Joe's Crab Shack.
I can't tell that story because it didn't happen. Our first date was at the movies. I remember that we did not meet each other at the car. I met her inside the theater. I don't remember what she wore, but I remember her being very quiet on the date. She did not try to kiss me or anything like that. And when we left,
because I was being a gentle woman, a
You
gentle
were.
stud.
You were good at it. And then you walked me to my car afterwards.
Yeah.
And I remember I immediately called my friend and I said that I liked you.
Is that so?
It's so, according to me. But according to you, that never happened. Or it happened much later.
Anyway, so on our first date to Joe's Crab Shack, we had a lovely meal where we talked, and I was very nervous because she wasn't like anybody that I had dated before, and I already felt like some sort of connection with her, but I didn't know how deep it was going to go. So fast forward, somebody stops responding to my text messages and phone calls.
Well, you know why that was.
She curved me. And so,
Ma'am?
I moved on with my life. And it went on like that for what, a few months?
Yeah.
And then our two friends invited us somewhere else together. And unbeknownst to me, she waltzes in, as cute as she wants to be, and tries to dance with me.
Where were we?
That
was
Boss Hogs. And
a club. I won't say a club. It was like a
that
party.
was a motorcycle club.
A party.
In a garage somewhere.
It was like a common party venue, correct?
Yes. Well, I don't know how common it was. Anyway.
Well, I know okay, go ahead.
We kind of started talking again at that place, but I did not like being curved. So the conversation I took very lightly. And after then it kind of simmered down again.
Can I just explain this? It was not me curving. It was the fact that she came in to the movies all suave, debonair and all that.
I'll be back. I'm gonna go get some water. Keep going.
And her presence in my life felt very serious. A lot more serious than I had ever felt. And so I knew that if I wanted to be with her, I had to like be mature about it. And I just was not ready to settle down and be, I was still trying to be outside. I mean, I was very young. I want to say I was still in college when we met.
Yes.
So I really wasn't ready for a serious relationship, but being around her, it felt very serious. Especially since at that time, my friends were, like, I considered them to be my family. So it made the situation with Keesh a lot more serious for me. Whatever reason, I don't know, like, myself as a 22-year-old woman, I don't know what I was thinking. But it just felt very serious. So I was not ready for that. I was not mature enough to say, hey, I'm not really trying to be in a serious relationship. I didn't know how to do that. So yes, I ghosted her. More than once. See, I'm admitting it.
I'm proud of you. And when I get over there, I'm going to tell my side of the story.
Okay, and I also don't understand what's going on. You took my pamphlet.
No, it's over there.
Because I don't know what kind of indicator.
It's the little thingy on the side. Anywho, at that point in my life, I also was not trying to be that serious.
Right here.
Yes.
No. The water goes here, crazy.
Where do you think that water's going to go?
I don't know. Lady.
What?
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to put the water in there.
How would you even get the water out of there?
Look. The picture puts it there. So now she's put the water inside the tank. I don't know if that's even where it's supposed to go, woman.
The water goes in here. The water then, it doesn't matter. I can't get it up anyway. But it doesn't matter.
Oh, the indicator floats up.
Yes, that's what I was trying to tell you.
Oh, okay.
Let me do this.
Well, can you pour it here?
Where? Okay.
It says.
Okay, I'm going to pour it on top of the indicator.
That makes me feel a lot better.
I'm glad you feel better.
Is it going into the tank?
Let's hope so. Anywho, yes, our conversations felt heavy because at that point in my life, I thought that that's what girls kind of wanted to hear.
So she was playing me anyway, y'all.
I was talking to other people because I knew that none of them were serious about me and I wasn't serious about them. I thought that that was a mutual understanding at some point.
Well, you don't use your words, so how am I supposed to know that? You're speaking so seriously to me, and I don't even really know what she was saying that made it feel
I don't think
serious,
I said anything serious.
but just the vibe. The vibe was very serious.
Well, I can't help what vibe you got from me, but I didn't say anything like I want to marry you.
You didn't. You didn't say that then.
We didn't talk about marriage, kids, none of that.
No, we didn't.
Anywho, fast forward. We reconnect yet another time. Mind you, through all these periods, we both have other relationships and we're talking to other people. I remember at one point, hold on, let me think.
I'm confused by what you're about to say.
So at one point, you had a girlfriend. And I had a girlfriend and we were breaking up. And I remember I needed to get away because we were living together at that point. And I remember hitting you up and I went to your house to hang out with you for that night. And then after that night, we didn't talk again for a couple of months.
You used me?
I didn't use you, but I knew that I could talk to you. And
when
just
was
like
this?
get away. And then I can't tell you when without saying names. And so then a few months later, when I was over that situation, we talked again.
Mm.
And at that point, we were talking a lot, but I knew that you had a girlfriend, so nothing was said inappropriate. And it was just like friendly conversation. I did tell her good morning a few times and stuff like that, and she told me about her girlfriend at the time. But nothing disrespectful, nothing weird, and everything like that. But then her girlfriend went through her phone and saw our conversations and was not happy with our conversations. And so then she told me she couldn't be my friend anymore.
Really want to be very clear that nothing was weird about the conversation.
There wasn't anything weird. I'm not that type of person.
My ex just didn't really like how Keesh and I had met.
And so...
Because apparently femmes and studs can't just be friends. Well, I guess maybe this is not a good example.
Well, I have femme friends.
You do?
Who are platonic friends.
Well, do you?
Yes. And you have stud friends who are platonic friends.
I don't think you have femme friends.
Yes, I do. I have one that I've been friends with for a very long time.
Oh, yes, of course, yes. But isn't she the only one?
That's not important.
I feel like you only have one femme friend. I have a couple
She's not
stud
the only
friends.
one. She's not. I just have to think about it real hard.
I feel like at the time we did not realize that we were going to be more to each other than friends. So it did feel silly that she was just saying we couldn't be friends just based on the fact that I had met her on Downlink probably about 5 years prior.
I knew that there was something special about Lexx. I knew we had a special connection. Did I know that she was going to turn into my wife and be my soulmate? Not until later. So anyway, after her girlfriend at the time went through her phone and saw our conversations and had a meltdown, Lexx told me she couldn't be my friend anymore.
Well, I didn't want her to get sad or angry. Let's pause the story because
the indicator
has risen. So now it's level with the tray.
This is the indicator, and I guess we'll know when you need to put more water in it
when it reaches the bottom.
That's what it says?
Yes, when it reaches the bottom, so I can't go watering crazy.
Okay.
So now we're going to put the other plant pods in.
Yes.
And have we figured out a place where we're going to plug this in at?
On the counter.
Okay. Which counter?
Doesn't matter. There's outlets at all of them.
We are so lucky to have many outlets. I do see the little seeds inside. I don't know if we mentioned this, but we're growing basil. Yes. Basil is what came in the kit, but they do have other options.
You can order all kinds of stuff like chili peppers and strawberries.
And thyme and peppermint. Ooh, I would like to do peppermint.
And mini tomatoes and moss rose, which...
I'm not sure what that is.
I'm not sure what that is.
But I think there's even more that you can get.
Probably.
This page, cornflower, apple mint, pink petunia. Oh, these are flowers. Oh no, peas, yellow tomatoes, yellow sweet peppers.
Can you get 2 peas in a pod?
You can get 2 peas. Well, you could do oregano and romaine lettuce. We use romaine lettuce like every week.
Yeah, we eat lots of Caesar salads. So.
Oh, it even. Okay. So it tells us when we can expect the sprouts in 1 to 3 weeks.
I'm gonna make pesto when they grow.
So the germination domes have to be removed once the plants sprout, and we can adjust the lamp light, I'm assuming with this.
Yes.
Once they grow more.
Yeah, there's a thing in there. Can you put the other pot in?
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I just got a little bit. It also tells us what temperature to keep our house at.
Okay, they can't tell me
that.
Listen, my mama told me when I go out my own house and pay my own bills, I could keep whatever temperature I wanted to, and that's what I plan to do.
Yeah, I don't like that.
All my life I said in a hot house because I didn't pay the bill.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
Your mama house do be hot still. I'd be like, dang.
So, anywho, got that in there.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's a little looser than the others.
No, they're all somewhat loosey-goosey.
Okay, well that was actually a lot simpler than I thought. I thought it was going to take hours.
All right.
So where were we with our little story?
So we stopped talking again. And at that point, like, I had my crushes on her back and forth, and I decided that I was going to let that situation go. I moved on in my life. I had another, I think, 2 relationships. No, 1. While I was in the relationship, I'm at work one night because I was on graveyard, and in the middle of the night, I get a text message that says, "Is this you?" That's all it says from a random phone number. And I was like, "It depends. Who are you?" And then she's like, "Oh, it's Lexx."
Hold on. You knew it was me.
How? I didn't have that number.
You didn't have my number?
I deleted your number. I was tired of going back and forth with you.
Well, you had your own little girls too.
Listen, I never lied about that.
I never lied about it.
I didn't say you did. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Anyway, so after that, I decided, you know what? I'm going to stop trying to pursue this as more than just a friendship. We're just going to be friends. Platonic friends, and that's just going to be it. At the time, I was dating somebody, and so was she. We had even suggested, like, double dating. Like, you know, let's just have some fun. Just be cool.
And to be clear, we did meet each other's girls at a time.
You met the girl I was with before that because we were in a random Denny's one night, and I walked in, and she was embarrassingly drunk. And I went to the table, and a mutual friend that we had told you about was there. And I saw her first. And so I went over and gave her a hug, and I tried to say hi to her. And then I look up and see this one sitting across from her. And I was like, "Oh, hi." And then I, spoke. And then my girlfriend at the time got upset that I was talking to other women and yelled at me. And so I left. So again, let's fast forward. She texted me at work, and then we decided to, I guess, just be friends. Again, nothing weird, no flirtation, none of that was happening. It was just regular conversation. And the the more that we spoke, the more we realized we had a lot in common. So one night, I think at that point I was going through some issues with my relationship, but we were still together. And I told her I just need to go out and I need to have fun. So we ended up going to a hookah lounge. This is the first time we saw each other in person in years. We go to the hookah lounge. We have an amazing time. That's where we were at the hookah lounge till like 5 o'clock in the morning.
I know, it was so fun too.
And we both had to work in a few hours, but we just had fun vibing to the music and, just hanging out. Nothing inappropriate happened or anything like that. A few months go on with us just being friends, talking, hanging out. I broke up with my girlfriend, and I'm like, you know what? I have feelings for her. I'm going to tell her after I broke up with my girlfriend. So when I get ready to tell her, I'm like, okay, you invite me to a New Year's Eve party. And when I walk into the New Year's Eve party, she's with somebody else. And I was like, oh, perfect. This is amazing. When I get the courage to tell her, she's with somebody else. So I keep my mouth shut. I don't say a word about it. I don't say anything about her relationship. The girl she was dating was cool. I told her that. They were not a good match. Anybody who was a friend to you could see that, though.
She was really nice, though.
She was very nice.
She was really nice.
She
is still, really nice.
I don't have anything bad to say about her at all. But I didn't feel like you guys were a good match. And it wasn't necessarily because I felt like you should be with me. Although I did. But it just, that wasn't a good match. And so I knew that, I hate to say this, but I kind of knew I could just ride that relationship out. And that's kind of what I did. And then at the time, I think that took like 6 months. But I was still doing my own thing. I was talking to other people and stuff like that, entertaining myself. It sounds so bad.
I honestly did not know you were talking to other people at that time.
Yes, you did. I told you about them. And then I remember towards the end of your relationship, you started getting jealous, but you weren't saying anything, but I could see it in your eyes. When I would tell you stuff, you'd be like, oh, that sounds like fun. You fast. I
still get mad when you tell me them stories. I'm like, I can't believe you was out there doing that.
And so at that time, we would hang out sometimes like all night. And I would go to her house like right after work, and we would, have dinner, we would have some drinks, we would just hang out as friends. Like, again, we would talk about any and everything, like the future, we would talk about politics, current events, our past. Music, a lot, just so many things. And the more I got to know her as a person, trying to not pursue her, the more I actually started to fall in love with her and feel a strong connection with her. And I remember one night I was on my way home from your house, and this is again before I had even told you I had feelings for you. I was thinking to myself, like, I'm gonna marry her one day. And so a few months go by, and old girl started messing up. And
she didn't really mess up.
She was doing some BS, and I tried to keep my mouth shut about it because I wasn't trying to sabotage her relationship. I wanted it to end organically without my input or anything like that, or my influence. And that's what ended up happening. And then, like 2 weeks after you broke up with her, I was like, all right, so what we doing?
No, it really was like that. It was like, okay, so we gonna stop playing around or what?
Right. And
because we both felt the vibes. We didn't do anything wrong, like, with each other, but
the vibe was undeniable, and any mutual friends that we were around that saw us together was like, so that's not what they did. They were like, so what y'all doing? Like, why are y'all playing? And so we ended up getting together, and then about a year after we were together, we moved in together, and then about 2 months after that, I started paying for a ring. That was, okay, so moved in together.
That quick?
We moved in together in April. I started paying on that ring, okay, in August. I proposed in December. And then we got December of 2019, 27.
Girl.
I'm old. Help me out. December of 2018, I proposed. In July of 2019, we put money down on our house. And then January of 2020, we moved into our house. And February of 2020, we got married. And here we are. Our anniversary is in about a week and a half, and we'll be married for 3 years.
I have to say, this is also my longest relationship that I've been in.
Me too. By far.
Before this, I had only been with someone for 2 years.
But I'm very happy that I got to know Lexx as a person, and we built a genuine connection, because I can honestly say that I married my best friend. And a lot of people have made comments in the past that because of the back and forth that we settled. But if this is what settling feels like, then I would settle all over again every single day of my life.
If this is settling, everyone should settle.
It's facts.
Literally everyone, because it's a dream.
It's like, so like people say marriage is hard, and granted it's only been 3 years, but this has been the easiest part of my life.
We have not left our honeymoon phase.
And maybe we never will.
Maybe not.
I love you.
I don't want to get flagged.
I was like, dang, you gonna leave me hanging like that?
I just don't want to get flagged. People are very sensitive.
I'm cutting that part out the video.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, well, that's the story of us being together.
Yes, and now there's water all over the table, so we need to plug this thing in and wipe the table off.
Okay.
So we can stop sliding it all over the place.
Let's stop sliding it. Don't slide it anymore.
So stop sliding it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We will go and plug this in, wipe the table off, and then we'll show you what it looks like all set up.
Okay, here we have it. So we should expect blooms in about 1 to 3 weeks. So I'm really excited.
And we'll keep you guys updated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so this is what it looks like. Thank you for listening to the story of how we got together. If you enjoyed us, please like, subscribe, comment.
Yes.
Find us on Instagram, TikTok,
Facebook, YouTube, all of that.
All that. See you next time.
Bye.